Hello everyone. So I hope you are preparing well for the IRDAI Grade A 2025 examination. So today we are going to discuss the previous year questions from the IRDAI Grade A 2024 examination for the ESI impacting insurance component, so that you can understand that what areas you have to cover for this component, what type of questions come from the syllabus of this component, as well as what type of questions come from the current affairs in this component. Okay. So today you will understand the extent of the preparation that is required in the ESI impacting insurance component for your IRDAI Grade A 2025 examination. So before starting with the session, there is a big announcement for all of you that we are providing you the free ebook that consists of the solved previous year questions for the IRDAI Grade A examination for 2017, 2023, 2024. And the previous year questions, they are the guiding light that gives you the right direction, that gives you the understanding that how much you have to prepare, what are the type of questions that have been asked in the previous years, and that provide you the idea that what you should be covering for the coming examination. Okay, now if you go to this link is provided in the description box below, and if you go to this link, you can go to this page where you can fill in the basic details and you can get this free ebook that is providing you the solved previous year questions for the previous years for the IRDAI Grade A examination. Okay, so this is a very good ebook that you can directly download with the link that is given in the description box below. Okay, now first of all, the ESI, it is a very important component. The ESI impacting insurance, this is a very important component in your phase 2. Okay, so as per the previous year notification, in the phase 2 you have 3 papers: English, ESI impacting insurance, and insurance and management. So ESI impacting insurance, this consists of 100 marks and you are given 60 minutes to answer the questions, and all the questions are descriptive in nature. The questions will appear on the screen and answers have to be written on the answer sheets. So this is the idea. Okay, now let's discuss the previous year questions for the 2024. So in the 2024 IRDAI Grade A examination, there were first question was that answer any 3 questions out of the 5 given below in 300 words. So for each question, so you had to answer 3 questions out of the 5 questions. So this is like the options were given to you. So out of the 5 questions, you had to answer 3 questions and each question carried 24 marks. Okay, and for each question you had to write 300 words. Okay, so let's discuss all of these 5 questions so that you have the idea that what kind of questions come in the examination. Okay, so what are the initiatives? So the first question is that what are the initiatives aimed at achieving last mile connectivity in the insurance sector? So basically you had to tell the initiatives that is taken in the insurance sector to achieve the last mile connectivity in the insurance sector. So basically this was a question directly from your IRDAI annual report, because in the IRDAI annual report the last mile connectivity initiatives were discussed, as well as this question also forms a part of your syllabus, that is in the ESI impacting insurance syllabus. The topic is given, that is insurance penetration. So in the insurance penetration also this question comes, because there are initiatives that have been taken for the insurance penetration for the last mile connectivity in the insurance sector. Okay, so if you had a course, so in the course, like in the EduTabs course, this question was covered in the annual report, as well as this question was covered under the insurance penetration chapter also, where the initiatives were discussed. Okay, so all of these are the initiatives: the Bima Trinity, that consists of Bima Sugam, Bima Vahak, Bima Vistar. So these are the initiatives that were taken for achieving the last mile connectivity, as well as the state insurance plan. This was launched by the IRDAI with a vision of insurance for all by 2047. This is also a very good initiative to achieve the last mile connectivity, as well as your micro insurance products. That was again the initiative introduced by the IRDAI to have the micro insurance. So this was also a very good initiative to achieve the last mile connectivity. So there were various initiatives that were mentioned in the IRDAI annual report, as well as the various initiatives. You must study it under the insurance penetration component of your syllabus also. Okay, so this is also a part of syllabus as well as a part of IRDAI annual report also. Next question, discuss the impact of deposit crunches on the insurance sector. Now we do not study the deposit in the ESI impacting insurance component. So this question was actually from the recent changes and updates in the banking sector that affects the insurance sector, or that impacts the insurance sector. So deposit crunches, this was quite in news in 2024 and this was quite discussed in 2024. So a question came, this you can understand from the finance current affairs, this question was. So if there is any news article or if there is any topic that is discussed a lot, and that change, that news, that has any impact in the insurance sector, so question can come from that. So you have to focus on the finance current affairs. You have to read and cover the finance current affairs before the examination, especially if something has impact on the insurance sector. So the banking crunches, it has impact on the insurance sector, and this deposit crunches was a part of your finance current affair. So if a topic has an impact on the insurance sector, so that topic becomes important from the examination point of view, and you can understand this carries 24 marks. Okay, so a deposit crunch characterized by significant slowdown in deposit growth within the banking sector can have profound implications on the insurance industry, because see, the liquidity. So banks, they invest. The banks, they invest in the insurance industry or in the insurance sector. So if the banks have liquidity crunch, if they do not have enough funds with themselves, they will not be able to invest in the insurance sector. They will not have much investment in the insurance sector. As well as the banks also perform the distribution facilities, or the banks are involved in the bank assurance. Okay, they have the bank assurance partnership, that banks function as the distribution channel for the insurance companies. Okay, banks work as the distribution channel as they distribute the insurance products on behalf of the insurance companies. So if banks are focused on increasing their deposits, the banks will be left with less time to distribute the insurance products. Okay, so distribution networks are impacted. Banks, through bank assurance partnership, they play a dominant role in selling the insurance products or insurance policies on behalf of the insurance companies. If banks focus aggressively on mobilizing the deposits, on collecting the funds, then their distribution, the insurance distribution, may take a back seat, reducing new business premiums for the insurance companies. Okay, competition for savings, because the insurance companies, they also collect funds. The banks are also taking new initiatives to increase the deposit with them, so they can be competing for the money of the people. So let's say I have money, I can invest that money with the insurance companies, or I can deposit that money with the banks. So now if the bank is providing me more lucrative offer, I will save my money with the bank rather than using the investment products of the insurance companies like the ULIPs. Now I will not invest in the unit linked investment plans of the insurance companies. I would rather save that money with the bank if bank is providing me with better opportunity. So there is competition for savings, there is competition for the money of the people. Okay, so these are certain like implication on the insurance sector. Okay, investment portfolio adjustments. Now if the banks, they are providing, like they are giving more interest for the savings of the people, because the bank want to attract the savings of the people. So bank is giving more interest for the saving of the people, or the bank is providing more returns for the investment that is done in the banks. So you can understand that the insurance companies, they also invest in the banks, and the insurance companies that are investing in the banks, they will get more returns, because bank is giving more interest, it is giving more returns for the investment that is happening in the banks, because banks want to collect the funds. Bank have deposit crunches, the bank has less liquidity, bank has less money, so bank is collecting the funds, and for that the bank is giving more interest or returns. So these are some of the impact that the deposit crunches can have on the insurance sector. So basically this is just the basic idea I'm providing you. Otherwise, the idea that you have to understand is that the recent changes and updates you have to study, that is happening in the banking sector, or that is happening in the financial sector, that is affecting the insurance sector, that is affecting the insurance sector or the insurance companies and such. Okay, next question was, what are the advantages and disadvantages of technology adoption in the insurance sector? Now this was directly from your IRDAI annual report, in which advantages as well as disadvantages were clearly mentioned and discussed. So from the IRDAI annual report, you can see that there are direct questions that come in the examination. Okay, so till now from the syllabus the question has come. That was also like the last mile connectivity question was related to your syllabus, as well as from the IRDAI annual report the question has come from the recent updates or changes that is impacting the insurance sector, as well as a question has come from the IRDAI annual report directly. So these are some of the areas that you should be covering: the syllabus, as well as IRDAI annual report, as well as the recent changes that are impacting the insurance sector. Okay, so again, advantages and disadvantages for the technology adoption in the insurance sector. Advantages are efficient operations and cost reduction because technology is being used, enhanced accessibility and penetration as digital platforms are developed for the insurance sector. So insurance sector will have enhanced penetration or accessibility of the insurance sector will be provided. Okay, fraud mitigation can happen through the technology and the AI models and such. Improved customer experience also because the digital platforms are being provided that has better service, that has better customer service. Okay, now the disadvantages are cybersecurity risk, data theft can happen. Okay, digital divide in between rural and urban areas because urban areas they use more digital platforms and such, so they can have easier access for the insurance products and insurance services as compared to rural sector. So that can, the digital platforms and the technology can further increase the digital divide between urban and rural areas. Okay, regulatory challenges are also there because the regulations they are not able to increase as fast as the innovations in the country. Okay, so sometimes this can lead to challenges. So this is the basic idea. Now moving forward with the next question, that is explain the concept of risk based capital and its implementation and supervision in the insurance industry. This is a direct question from your syllabus. From the topic of economic capital and risk based capital requirement, you can see that this is a direct topic that is given in your syllabus. So this is a direct question from your syllabus, direct. Okay, so such direct question can come here. You have to tell you have to explain the concept of risk-based capital. That means you have to give the definition, the purpose of the risk-based capital, the components under the risk-based capital, implementation. So you have to give pointers for the implementation and supervision. Okay, so the pointers have to be given. So if you have done this topic in your syllabus, so you would have been able to answer this question pretty easily. Next is, how is India transitioning towards a sustainable economy? Now this is an application based question that has come from your syllabus. So in the syllabus, the topic is mentioned, contribution of insurance sector to sustainable and responsible development of economy. So sustainable development is mentioned, but the sustainable economy, that how India is transitioning towards the sustainable economy, this is more of a application based question. Okay, so when you are reading the current affairs, you have to focus on the syllabus, that okay, in the syllabus the economic growth is mentioned, in the syllabus the sustainable development is mentioned. So what are the key pointers that are, like if they are in news, what are the key pointers that you have to keep in mind? Okay, so this is a question that how India is transitioning towards sustainable economy. So this is not a static question. Okay, this is a current affairs based question. Okay, that is related to your topic in the syllabus. So this is more of a current affairs or application based question that is related to your topic in the syllabus. So whatever topic you are studying, like economic growth, insurance penetration, as well as sustainable development, so you have to see that if there is any news that is going on related to that, and you have to cover it from the current affairs or from the dynamic perspective also. Okay, so this is the idea. So these were the 5 questions that have come in your first part of the ESI impacting insurance component. So in the first part, there were 5 questions. There were 5 questions. From out of the 5 questions, you had to attempt 3 questions. So let's say you are not very well aware of the current affairs related to sustainable economy, the India transition towards the sustainable economy. So you could leave this kind of question also. Okay, so out of the 5 questions, you had to attempt 3 questions. And all these 5 questions, like the 3 questions, they were of 24 marks each, 300 words. So word limit is not like in RBI, you have the word limit of 400 words and 600 words. So in IRDAI, the word limit is like the maximum word limit is 300, 400 only. So the word limit is not up to 600. So word limit is less. Okay. Now coming to the second part of, in the second part of ESI impacting insurance component, there was 4 questions that were given. Like you had to answer 4 questions out of 5 questions. So 5 questions were again given, out of which you had to attempt 4 questions. Now each of the questions had to be answered in 100 words. So it is a short answer kind of question, and each question carried 7 marks. Okay, so basically you were given 5 questions, you had to answer 4 questions in the word limit of 100 words, and each question carried 7 marks. This is the idea. Okay, now there were 5 questions in this component, in this second part of your ESI impacting insurance component. So there were 5 questions. What is PM Vay Vandana Yojana and what are the key features? Now PM Vay Vandana Yojana, this is under the LIC. So you can understand that such kind of schemes, the schemes that are related to social security benefits, or the schemes that are related to the insurance sector, the schemes that are related to the pension sector, or that are related to the social security areas. So these kind of schemes are very important, as well as this scheme is directly related to LIC. So such schemes that are related to insurance companies, they become more important. Okay, explain the concept of CBDC. So this was one question. Discuss sovereign green bonds. So let's discuss them one by one so that you have the idea that from which areas the question come. Okay, and I have provided you a summary slide at the end so that you can remember that what areas you have to cover, the what areas you have to cover for the ESI impacting insurance component. Okay, so what is PM Vay Vandana Yojana and what are its key features? So basically the schemes, I have told you that you have to cover the schemes, because in the 2023 IRDAI grade A examination also we have seen that the questions come from the schemes like Fasal Bima Yojana and such. Okay, so schemes, what schemes you should be covering? Schemes that are in the insurance category, the schemes for the pension area, or the schemes in the social security areas. Okay, or the schemes that are directly related to insurance companies. This is the idea. So here you can see that the scheme enables old age income security for senior citizens through provision of assured pension or return linked to the subscription amount based on government guarantee to LIC. So here the scheme is directly related to LIC, so it became important. Okay, so schemes you have to cover. Next is explain the concept of CBDC and its relevance in current financial system. So see, now CBDC, it is a very important introduction in the banking and finance domain. So CBDC was not much in news in 2024, but still a question came from it because it is a major introduction, or it is a major concept in the banking and finance domain. So the major introductions or the major concepts that have been recently been introduced or that have been recently been discussed. So those major introductions you have to study those from the banking and finance domain, like the GST, the CBDC, the digital transformation that is happening. So the RTGS, NEFT, UPI. So you should be knowing about these concepts. Okay, so this is the idea. So CBDC, it was not much in use in 2024, but it is a very recent topic in the banking or finance domain. So from here a question came. Before that, in the previous years in IRDAI grade A examination, a question has also come from GST. So you can understand that these kind of important things in the banking and finance domain you have to know about. Okay, next is discuss sovereign green bonds and their usefulness in the insurance sector. This was from Finance Current Affairs. Sovereign green bonds was quite in news in 2024, so direct question came from this topic. Okay, and whenever a topic is coming, it might be linked to the insurance sector, so you have to read it from the perspective of insurance sector. So sovereign green bonds, they are the debt instruments through which the government raises the fund or collects the fund so that that money can be used in the environmentally sustainable projects such as renewable energy projects and such. How is it useful in the insurance sector? So portfolio diversification, the insurance companies can invest in such kind of bonds. Risk mitigation, investing in these projects, investing in this sovereign green bonds help in the investment in the environmentally sustainable projects, okay, that combat the climate change and can indirectly reduce the frequency and severity of the climate related insurance claims and such. Okay, so regulatory compliances, as regulatory frameworks are increasingly emphasizing the environment, social and governance norms. So holding the sovereign green bonds can help insurers comply with the emerging requirements. This is the idea. So basically you need to have the idea of the concepts that are quite in news before the examination as well as their impact on the insurance sector. Okay, next is what are the techniques for loss minimization and reduction in insurance industry. This is a direct question from your syllabus. The economic impact of risk transfer arrangements including reinsurance. So basically risk transfer arrangements is related to loss minimization. Okay, so this was a topic directly in your syllabus. Okay, and from here, from the direct topic, a question has come. Next is explain the role of actuaries. Again, role of an actuary. This is directly mentioned in your syllabus. So here we have seen the 5 questions in the first part. The 5 questions, out of which you had to do 3 questions, 24 marks each. Now in the second part of the ESI impacting insurance, there were 5 questions, out of which you had to do 4 questions each that were carrying 7 marks. The 24 marks question, you had to write 300 words. For 7 marks question, you had to write 100 words. So basically keep this in mind that the word limit is around 300. Maximum it can go up to 400. That's it. Okay. Now, this is the idea for the ESI impacting insurance. Now the areas that you have to cover. So we have identified certain areas that you have to cover. First of all, syllabus, because direct questions have come from the syllabus, like the actuary or the risk based capital, the question has come on that. Okay, so direct questions come on the syllabus, as well as direct questions come from IRDAI annual report also. This is also very important document that you have to cover. If you have to cover the syllabus, many of the topics of the syllabus, they get covered through the IRDAI annual report. So from the IRDAI annual report, direct question can come from the annual report of IRDAI, as well as IRDAI annual report is important to cover your syllabus, because many of the topics in the syllabus, they are like provided in the IRDAI annual report. Okay, next, the questions can come from the schemes. Okay, the schemes related to insurance sector or pension sector, or the schemes related to social security. Okay, so the schemes, from there the questions can come, as well as the questions can come from the finance current affairs and the updates, the recent changes that is happening in the banking sector or finance sector that can impact the insurance sector. So from finance current affair, or from the recent updates or recent changes that is happening in the banking or finance domain that can impact the insurance sector, from there the question can come. The question can also come from the major introductions that have happened in the recent period in the banking or finance domain, like the GST, CBDC. They are the major introductions or the major things that have been introduced in the economy. Okay, so these are the 5 important areas that you have to cover. Okay, so basically there can be questions from the syllabus. So this is the syllabus for the ESI impacting insurance that was given in IRDAI grade A 2024 notification. Okay, so this is the syllabus. Here you can see economic capital and risk based capital requirement. Okay, here you can see the role of an actuary, the contribution of the insurance sector to the sustainable and responsible development of the economy, the economic impact of risk transfer arrangements. So from these areas the questions have come. Insurance penetration, or the initiatives for the insurance penetration. So from these areas the questions have come. Okay, so questions from the syllabus, questions on schemes, okay, that can come. Questions from finance current affairs, especially the recent changes and updates in the banking or financial sector that affects the insurance sector. Okay, questions on major introduction in the banking and finance domain, like the GST, CBDC, and the recent, if there is some introduction, major introduction is happening of the new technology or the new concept and such. Questions from IRDAI annual report. Okay, so this is the strategy for the phase 2 for the ESI impacting insurance component, that through the previous year questions we have identified these areas that you have to focus on. So now, before ending the session, let me show you that if you go to edutab.in, you will be able to reach to the EduTap's website, where you can see the courses. So in the courses you can see that there is the IRDAI grade A courses, where there are various courses that are being provided to you. If you want to have the complete preparation for the IRDAI grade A phase 1 plus phase 2, so you can have this IRDAI grade A phase 1 plus phase 2 full video course, where you are getting live classes, where you are getting chapter wise tests, sectional tests, full length tests, soft previous year questions, chapter wise previous year questions are being provided to you. Weekly mentor talk is also there. If you think that okay, I can do the phase 1 very easily, I have been preparing for multiple exams and phase 1 is easy for me, so you want the material for only phase 2, so you can have the phase 2 full video course, where you can get the multiple, like you can get live classes, mind map, chapter wise test, summary sheet, summary concept notes and such. So full length tests of previous year question, chapter wise previous year questions and such. Okay, so this is the basic idea. You can get the combo courses, or you can get, if you only want to purchase the course for the IRDAI grade A, so here we have the gold course and silver course for the IRDAI grade A. In the gold course you are getting the material for phase 1 plus phase 2. Okay, so live classes, chapter wise test, sectional test, solve previous year question, chapter wise previous year questions are there, as well as there is the summary sheet, concept notes that are being provided to you. Okay, so if you want the material for only phase 2, that you think that okay, you are very well prepared for the phase 1, you have been preparing for quant reasoning English for the phase 1, and you do not require the material for phase 1, you only require the material for phase 2, so you can get the silver course in which you can get these materials. Okay, you can get the systematic material that is required for the phase 2 examination. Okay, and you can also see that who all will be teaching to you. as well as if you need any more information, you can check out the information. You can also contact the team, okay, through this number or through this mail ID. So this is the idea. These are the courses that can help you, that if you want the help of EduTap, there are these courses that are available for you. You can check out these courses and know more about it, okay. So this is it for today. Thank you very much for joining the session.